So most of you remember that when ECL lost elections in 2021, they were not in good books with Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, who is the Republican president today. Why? Because when Mr. Hichilema was in opposition for a long time, the ECL government, or the PF, the Patriotic Front government, they targeted the UPND government, not only the UPND party by then and its leaders, not only UPND and most of our opposition leaders then who never supported the PF. Okay? So because of that, Mr. Hichilema and Mr. ECL could not see each other ear to ear, okay? Like they could not see each other. Okay? Eye to eye, like, yeah, that's the correct term now. So, they had the problem, okay? They had the grudge against each other, and I'm sure they plan to actually do some revenge on each other. So this is what was happening before 2021. So when 2021 came, Mr. Edgar Chagwa lost the elections, and he accepted it. He was replaced by Mr. Hichilema under the UPND government, okay? So the new Dawn came in power. So Mr. ECL, or Mr. Edgar Lungu, decided to retire from politics immediately he lost elections. He went and he was lasting, okay? So what started happening is that, remember that Mr. Hichilema had grievances with the PF government, and most people were in PF government. And one of the reasons is that most people in PF government, they didn't away from Mr. Hichilema before the 2021 elections, okay? Because maybe PF bought them or something happened, including the GBM, the Chimbatambo. You know, these people returned to PF, remember, when we were approaching 2021. And because of that, a lot of these people were being followed immediately UPND won election. Despite Mr. Hichilema saying he's not going to do anything against ECL or he's going to protect him and all these things, I think it was just a talk. But as things progressed, Mr. Hichilema started following ECL's family, his close friends, including his own guards. I think you saw a lot of instances which happened. One day police went and brought down the gate from ECL's residence by then, and ECL was being blocked when he goes for jogging. ECL was not allowed to talk. ECL was not allowed to go to church, for example. So he came out and said, okay, I'm back to politics so that I defend my family and defend these people who are being persecuted by Mr. Hichilema. I know that Mr. Hichilema is actually following me, but it's going through these people. So that's how Mr. Edgar Chagwa returned to politics, and the problem is continued. So for some of you, you know that Mr. Lungu immediately he lost power. It came to the light of Zambians that Mr. Lungu was not very healthy man. He more like he was sick, so he could go for medical checkups in South Africa every after here and then. Yeah, so he wanted to continue that routine, but the UPND government actually stopped him. At one point, they even went and ejected him from the airplane at the airport. Yeah, so there were all these issues. All right. So clearly, these two people did not forgive each other, and they were not in good books. Okay. So one time, the UN rapporteur, okay, UN Human Rights rapporteur was in Zambia. It's the only time Mr. ECL managed to actually free or leave Zambia to South Africa. So he went to South Africa then, and then unfortunately he passed away in June last year. So when he passed away, according to the family member and the representative, who is Mr. Makebi Zulu, the people, most Zambians, especially the UPND, call Malukula, is not Malukula. Actually, it's a defamation to call someone Malukula whose name is not that, okay, and who does not do that job. So Malukula, these are mortuary attendants, the people who take care of our dead people in hospitals, called mortuaries. Yeah, these are called Malukula. But most of Zambians, especially those who actually support Mr. Hichilema, they call Makebi Zulu as Malukula. But for some of you might not know, Mr. Makebi Zulu is not a Malukula. He's actually a prominent lawyer, a state counsel in Zambia, and he was chosen as to be a spokesperson for the Lungu family, okay, the ECL family. So that is the law he's been playing. And because of that, some angry UPND members and cadres, they actually call him Malukula, which is very wrong. In a normal case, these people are supposed to be sued for defamation or something, but we know that nothing can happen to actually people who support UPND today until the government changes, maybe. Okay? Yeah. So this is what happened. So Mr. Makebi Zulu was simply a family spokesperson. He has nothing to do with the board of ECL. It is the will and wishes of the family which he actually spoke whenever he came out to the public. Yeah, so it is said that Mr. ECL left a note to say, me and Mr. Hichilema were not friends. okay? And so I wouldn't want him to actually attend my funeral physically, okay? So this message or memo was communicated to the government. And then the government said at first that, okay, if ECA does not want me to be at this funeral, I'm not going to come. So they agreed. So the day the family wanted to bring ECA back to Zambia, the government of Zambia, through Mr. Kangwa, I think he's the secretary of the cabinet, they changed the memo to include that Mr. ECA and Mr. HH are going to spend 40 minutes in one room together with other delegates, okay? So because of that, the family, after they saw the new memo from the government, they rejected and said, this is not what we agreed. We agreed that Mr. Ichlema will not be at the funeral. All Mr. Ichlema needed to do was to delegate, send someone, maybe Mtena Rumango, even the wife, Bamutinta, would have been good. I don't think she had a problem with the Rung family in a big way like the husband. Okay, so what Mr. Ichlema failed to do is to actually delegate someone to go on his behalf. He just wanted to be there. For what reason, nobody knows. It's the reason why most Zambians superstitiously actually suspect that he wanted something from Mr. Lungu for him to win elections. So I don't believe in this theory, but that's what's there in the public. Okay, so that's what happened. Okay, so this battle has been going on for a long time until at one point the government actually went illegally and did a postmortem on that board, and things became sour. That's how the Lungu family petitioned again, and it went on and went on until last week, okay, after bringing all the evidence, including what I'm from telling you that Mr. Iti was supposed to spend 40 minutes with Lungu's body in the same place, was actually there during the court hearing, if you heard it. Okay, if you didn't hear, you can always go back and hear those court hearing of Mr. ECO, and you actually find that what I'm telling you is actually true. Yeah. So that's what happened. And then last week, the judge actually ruled in favor of the family of ECA. What does this mean? This means that the family of Edgar Chagwa Lungu are now free to bury Edgar Chagwa Lungu anywhere they want. Okay? If they want, they can bring him to Zambia. But there's no guarantee that the government of Zambia are not going to seize the body. Because if they dare to come with him to Zambia, the government of Zambia, through Mr. Ichlema, they're going to seize the body of Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. So it's very much possible that Lungu is not coming back to Zambia anytime soon. I think the only possibility is when we change the government. It's the only possibility that Lungu might return to Zambia. Otherwise, we should forget until there is a friendly government or a government which will be willing to actually reconcile and negotiate well with the families of Mr. Edgar Lungu. Now, there are some tussles which are happening in South Africa. We know that the government's hand is actually in those groups, small groups of some less South African busy protesting that we don't want this to be buried here. We know that actually the government is sponsoring such people. They should stop. It's very imbalancing. You know, you have lost. Move on. Concentrate on something else. All right? Yeah. So that's what's happening so far with Mr. ECO. But those people from South Africa are protesting that they don't want ECO to be buried in that country. They should not be overzealous. They are not sure. They don't know where the family will bury Mr. Lungu exactly. Until that is done, there's no way you can start protesting. I think you have nothing to do. You South African, let South Africa know protesting. Go and find a way and start working instead of wasting your time in the streets. But anyway, we know, maybe you are paid. There are rumors actually that the lawyer who was presiding on Mr. Lungu's court case, there was even some attempts to bribe him with some $3 million, which is a lot of money. This is just a rumor. It may not be true. But these things are very much possible because nobody actually trusts the government of Zambia. I actually wonder what happens to the international standing, okay, for Zambia. We are really in our lowest stance. I know that some things have happened here and there, but the behavior of Mr. Ichlema concerning his family, even if they were enemies, is unacceptable and is un-Zambian. We should be able to move on from certain things, especially if our enemy dies, we cannot continue hating him even in his death. We should be able to move on, okay, and find it in our hearts to forgive. Because so if someone is dead, does not know anything. That's what the Bible says. The Bible says if you die, the dead does not know anything about the living. So Mr. Ichlema must move on, they recognize that fact and move on. Malova is an elder at SDA. So, I mean, are you telling me that there are no people in SDA who can actually help him reconcile with the Lungu's family? Anyway, maybe they are failed because the man clearly does not want to listen to anybody apart from himself. Yeah, so that's what happened. Okay? Yeah. So a lot happened in the ECO family, but we thank God that finally this matter has actually come to a conclusion and there's a way forward. Mr. If I was the ACO's family, I would have actually buried Lungu in another country, South Africa. South Africa is a polarized nation.